All right, welcome to the Code Kitchen. Today we're going to do something really cool. We're going to turn you from a regular line-by-line coder into a master coder chef. And how are we going to do that? By unlocking Python's absolute secret weapon for clean, efficient code, functions.
So we ask you something. You're deep into a project, right? You're in the zone, typing away, and then all of a sudden it hits you. Wait a second. Haven't I written this exact piece of logic before? You know what I'm talking about. It's such a common trap. You copy, you paste, you maybe tweak a variable or two. Yeah, sure, your code works, but your file is just getting longer and longer, and that feeling of being in control, it's kind of starting to slip away. I like to call this the messy code kitchen. Seriously, it's like trying to cook a gourmet meal by just dumping every single ingredient and every single instruction into one giant chaotic pot. It's disorganized, it's inefficient, and honestly, it's a total nightmare to fix if something goes wrong.
Just look at this code for a second. Its job is to calculate the price of a custom tent. You've got your calculations for the cylinder part, the cone part, the cost of the canvas, the tax. I mean, it's all there, but it's just one long, continuous block of instructions, a single, very long recipe.
And this right here is the pain of that single recipe approach. As your programs get more complex, this style just gets bulky and really hard to manage. Trying to find a bug in there? It's like searching for one specific grain of salt in that giant pot. And what if you need to calculate a cone's area for a different project? Well, you're stuck copying and pasting all over again.
But here's the good news. There is a much, much better way. It's time to organize our kitchen. It's time to stop being a line cook and start thinking like a true master coder chef. And what's the number one tool of the coder chef? It's the function. Think of it exactly like a recipe. It's a named, reusable set of instructions that does one specific task. So instead of one giant, messy recipe, you have a whole collection of small, perfect, single-purpose recipes. And check this out. This is that transformation in action. On the left, you've got the messy, single-scroll code, but on the right, that's the coder chef's kitchen. The problem is broken down into these neat, logical recipes. One function for the cylinder area, another for the cone, and one for the final price with tax. It's organized, it's readable, and it is so much more powerful. So how do we actually write one of these recipes? It's surprisingly simple. You just start with the keyword def, which is basically you telling Python, hey, I'm defining a new recipe. Then you give it a unique name, add a pair of parentheses and a colon, and then, and this is important, you indent all the instructions that belong to that recipe right underneath it. That's it. You've made a function. Okay, but every good recipe needs ingredients, right? This is where two words, parameter and argument, come in, and they can be a little confusing at first. But think of it this way. The parameter is the placeholder for the ingredient in your recipe definition, like a number. The argument is the actual ingredient you use when you cook, like the number 5. So to put it really simply, the argument is the value you pass in when you call your recipe. The parameter is the placeholder inside the recipe that receives that value. Just remember, argument is what you give, parameter is what receives. Easy. So after your recipe has done its magic with the ingredients, what happens? It produces a finished dish. And in Python, that's the return statement. It sends that final result, that delicious calculation, back to whatever part of the code asked for it in the first place. This brings up a really important kitchen rule. Let's say you mix some special spices inside one of your recipes. Can you just grab that spice mix and use it in a completely different recipe? Well, the answer leads us to a crucial concept called scope. And this is a perfect way to understand it. Variables you create inside a function have local scope. They're like that unique spice blend you made for one specific dish. They only exist inside that one recipe. But variables created outside of any function, they have global scope. They're your pantry staples, your salt, your flour, your oil, and they're available for any recipe in your kitchen to use. Okay, so you've mastered writing your own recipes. What's next? You grab a cookbook from a world-class chef. In Python, we call this a module. It's just a file that's packed with pre-written, expert-level functions that you can use in your own code. It's like having a whole library of professional cookbooks at your fingertips. So how do you get all this expert knowledge into your kitchen? It's as simple as taking a book off the shelf. You just type import followed by the name of the module, like import math. And just like that, you have access to a whole library of amazing mathematical recipes. And using a module like this instantly boosts your capabilities. The math module, for instance, gives you access to some seriously powerful tools. Need a square root? Math.sqrt. Need to round a number up? Math.ceil. What about a factorial? Math.factorial. These are tested, optimized recipes you don't even have to write yourself. It saves you an incredible amount of time. So when you step back and look at it, why adopt this coder chef mindset? Well, the advantages are huge. Your code becomes way easier to read, like a well-organized recipe book. You write less code because you aren't repeating yourself all the time. You get reusability. That post-tax price function could be used in a dozen different programs. And it makes teamwork so much easier because different chefs can work on different recipes at the same time.
By really embracing functions, you elevate your whole craft. You're moving beyond just telling the computer what to do step by step. You become an architect. You become a coder chef, designing these elegant, powerful, and efficient solutions to really complex problems.
So, you've seen the messy kitchen, and now you've learned the techniques of a master. You have the power of functions, modules, and a whole new way of thinking about code. The only question left is, with this brand new recipe book in your hands, what amazing dish are you going to create first?